Welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. Tonight is the Monday night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic is plants that defend your gardens. And how's everybody doing out there? Let's go see who all's in the side chat here. Go up here and all right. So first one in was Super Scout. I guess he's going to be watching. He's over there watching the kids. So he's just going to be listening in. Got Phelan Clan Wolf here. And scroll on down. Stringfield Ridge Farm. Hey, Teresa. Ginger Ninja's here. Rita Hunter's here. Skinner Farms. Hey, Josh. Tammy at Rebel Canners is in the house. Alicia is here. And I guess that's all we got in here right now. I froze again. Oh, Emma just came in. Cool. So by the numbers there, we got a few people lurking. Lurking's fine. We just ask that you check in, just say hi. And you don't have to leave if you don't want to check in. It's just, we just like to know who's all out there. Kaylin Strain's in the house. Cool. Now, one thing I want to fire off here, one of the bonuses of channel membership, and I'm going to use the other channel to throw it up there. Boom, there it is. So, yeah, the emojis there that I posted on Gray Man Prepping. So we got, we got stuff. Basically, the membership is called Campers, something that kicked around, because dealing with Camppatton, my wife's staying with the scouting and everything else. So you got a little campfire, you got hot dogs, you got marshmallows, and you got the logo there. So cool. All right, Alicia's throwing it up there too. Alicia's a member too, folks. All righty, so tonight's going to be an interesting night. For the majority of it, we're going to talk about plants, and I need your guys' help out there. And if anybody out there that's we got Marlon Rando. Hey, how's it going? Didn't see you slip in there on me while I was bouncing back and forth here. All right, so if any of the usual friends and quote YouTube family want to come up here, give me a thumbs up or one, and I'll post the link for you to come on in, or just say, hey, share the link, and I'll share it in here. But let's get started on this here and go over to here. Boom. All right, so I was doing some research. Suburban Hillbillies in the house. Cajun Hydroponics. Hey, guys. So I was checking some stuff out, and I was bouncing around trying to figure out as much stuff as I could, besides what I've heard from everybody out there over the last years and stuff about plants and stuff that are good for protecting your gardens. So let's start off here. Basil. Basil is supposed to be good at repelling certain pests and stuff. However, I have learned since I'm doing the indoor garden experiment here that certain pests, when they become subjected to one of these plants, become immune to it, if you will. It's supposed to repel gnats. And some of the soil I was doing for the inside garden there had some, I guess, gnat seeds, embryos, whatever in there. And now I have gnats. Hey, Mary Beth Smith. And now I have some gnats around there. And I was getting rid of them with, back in the beginning, I showed how I was holding the shop back about 1.5 inches above the soil, just going across and just sucking up the gnats, and a bunch of them disappeared for a couple of weeks. But now I got plants all over the place, the carrot tops. I can't really get all the gnats out. But my daughter was over getting yesterday, and she grabbed a bunch of basil leaves. She goes, "There's gnats on these basil." So some of the pests and stuff will get used to it if they're around it all the time. So I've noticed that with other plants as well. So, but basil's one's supposed to repel aphids, gnats, and some other stuff. Borage. Yes, I'm going alphabetically here, folks. Borage is a real cool plant. My wife and I love it. It repels, and it really repels the tomato hornworm and the hornworm moth, and works really great. And it attracts pollinators like you would not believe. I mean, the bees in the neighborhood just seem to zero in on our borage plants, and just they just love the borage, and it makes them mellow while they're in our garden. So that is so neat of a plant. I just love it. All right, catnip. Oh, ginger! Woo, woo! Hang on. Super sticker from Ginger Ninja. I love it. Thank you, Ginger. All righty. And catnip is supposed to repel a lot of things too. However, and I froze, and you know what catnip does with cats. So, but catnip is another one that's supposed to repel a bunch of pests. And I'll go over a list here on some of these things in a little bit here. Chives, also the odor put off by chives repels certain pests as well, and it just smells nice too. Dill is another one that's listed on there. And okay, you make sure something just glitched here for a second on my screen here on my end. So dill is another one. Plus, hey, dill has multiple uses as well. Marigolds. And now I've heard from back when I was a little kid that marigolds will chase off certain things. Now I've heard back when I was a kid and a teenager, but I haven't heard many people talk about it nowadays. My grandmother, my uncle, my aunt, my mom, I mean, they planted marigolds around the garden to try to keep the gophers away. Where they had it planted, the gophers didn't come. But there's also another plant, I can't remember what it's called right now, that is really, it's gopher something or other, and it chases gophers off. All righty, and let's see here. Mint. Now, I've heard a lot of people going, oh, don't plant mint. It's invasive. It'll just go everywhere and it'll take over your garden. All I know is the mint we have planted is not taking over nowhere, anywhere. And it's, we're having to work hard to get it to grow and spread here. And in California, at my mom's place, we worked for years to get a little small planter of mint to grow and do. We did everything for it, but it just, for some reason, did not like where it was at. We, made sure it was properly fertilized and everything else. But mint is supposed to chase away a lot of things. And mint oil is one of those things that's supposed to keep wasps away. So, with mint oil and lemongrass oil, make sure you spray around. You can spray it around where wasps like to build their, the mud daubers and the paper wasps like to make their nest, and it chases them off. All right, oregano. Oh, yeah, another multi-use one. Hey, a lot of these are herbs and stuff that you use in seasoning and stuff, and they have the benefit of chasing away certain pests. Another one here is nasturtiums. Nasturtiums was one of my mom's favorite flowers, and she worked hard trying to get it to grow there in California, and finally we did the right thing to the area, and it just took off. When we did that, the nasturtiums and the California poppies just took off, and she just loved that area because it was all nice and that. Of course, once those took off, then she had to put out the the little metal lids with the beer in it to get the slugs and snails. Just checking the side chat here, folks. Keeping up on it here. Yeah, lemongrass is something else to plant, and there's a couple others that if you look up that will that can repel wasps and stuff. And we got Gear Grinding 19 and Nikki at Blue Farm is in the house as well. Woohoo! All righty, so yeah, nasturtiums nasturtiums, of course, is something my mom didn't know about. Otherwise, she would have been making us eat it that it was edible. Otherwise she'd been serving in salads. So let's see here. Where's next? There's the button. There we go. Parsley is also supposed to repel certain pests. Now realize, guys, when we're talking these plants, you don't plant one plant and it keeps your entire garden clean. It's just like a little area right around it that it repels. So you got to plant different things, spread it out, and plant and companion plant these things with the other plants to chase the pests off. Oh yeah. Yeah, that happened once across the street when my son-in-law mowed the one section of mint we were trying to get growing. He goes, and I froze. And he goes, "Why does it smell so nice out here?" Because you ran over the mint. All right, parsley and then rosemary. Rosemary is another one that is, not only is it's nice to look at. My wife has a huge rosemary plant in a pot because she's not going to put it in the ground because if it goes in the ground there in California, it'll just take over the front yard. So, but she has it in a big pot, and she has a couple ones she's broken off in smaller pots and has it spread around. But yeah, rosemary is something that when my wife comes up here, when she brings those plants up here, we'll be set for our rosemary for the herbs and stuff. And this is one I had not heard of. It's called rue, and it repels a lot of pests, and it attracts pollinators. So, oh, we got a question here. I missed it. Okay, not sure if anyone knows the answer to this. Does peppermint help to calm heart arrhythmias? I don't know. If you give me a minute, I'll come back to that. After I do slideshow, pop that question up again, Alicia, and I will throw up the quick research unless someone else, one of the moderators in there, wants to grab Google and ask that question to Google. And maybe I'll bring up HealthMD or whatever. Okay, summer savory. I have not heard of this one before, and it looks interesting. Has anybody heard of this plant? Because this is something that's, all the pictures I found of it, they're generally keeping it in pots. So that kind of clues me in that it might be something that spreads a lot once you plant it in your area. So might be something to check into here. Is a summer savory. I'm not even sure what it's for yet. Yeah, Kaylin, me too. I've heard of savory, but not summer savory. And this was listed in a couple places as one that repels pests. And of course, thyme, another great herb for cooking as well. And it also has nice flowers on it too. So I think that wraps up the ones I have here. Yes, it does. You drop back down in here. Hey, Jay, how's it go? Jay fires off the science fiction. Triffids, maybe? Yeah, well, those are the ones you want to defend the property. If anybody hadn't seen the old movie Day of the Triffids, yeah. All right, so let me drop this down here and bring up the other thing over here. I'm going to bring it up here real quick. And that is, so let me just type this in here, folks. Bear with me. So it does meant help to CALMHA. Arrhythmia. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's the answer. I'm going to throw this up here. So you can't see it that well, but this is from one of the things that, remedy for heart racing beats. Peppermint tea is shown to have a soothing effect on palpitations and acts as a relaxant to mind and body. And then down here, what herbs help with arrhythmia? Other herbs and supplements may help, according to the Journal of Thoracic Disease, include barberry. I can't even pronounce this. Cinchona, hawthorn, motherwort, omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, so this is medical news today is what this one's from. So, yeah. Yeah, so tea again. Someone else, another brought it up here. So anyways, yeah. So peppermint tea is something else that's good for us if you need it for that. All right, so hey Q, how's it going? All right, let me check, see what I missed here while I was looking over that. Make sure I got everyone caught up on the things there. All righty, so now that medical advice I gave is not medical advice I'm giving. That was just us reading from what Google said. So I am not a doctor of medicine. All righty, so just some things. So of some of those things I showed before, so catnip says prevents aphids, beetles, caterpillars, and shield bugs. The dill prevents aphids, caterpillars, shield bugs, and spider mites. Mince prevents aphids, beetles, caterpillars, shield bugs, and white flies. Nasturtium prevents aphids, beetles, caterpillars, and shield bugs. Those were the four main ones that were listed by towergarden.com's blog. And I'm going to throw it up here. So that's their top four pest repelling plants. And then they listed the other ones down here. Now, one of the things here they also talk about control pests with good bugs, and it lists all the good bugs they have around: ladybugs, lacewings, hoverflies, parasitic wasps, predatory true bugs, spiders, tachinid flies. All right. Now, some other plants they listed here. I know it's going to be kind of hard. You can't really see it there, but I'll read it off. Now, here's what it says. One of the most common ways to attract good bugs is to grow insectary plants or pollen and nectar producing plants. As you might guess, this means growing flowers. That'll certainly do the trick, but flowering herbs work too. The following plants attract both pest predators and pollinators. So borage, cilantro, cosmos, dill, marigold, mint, rosemary, rue, and thyme attract pollinators and pest predators, and they repel pests. So those are some good ones to have in your garden there. I figured I'd go on since these guys had it here. An all-natural pest spray. I thought this was interesting. This one actually gave a recipe for doing it. Basically, chop, grind, or liquefy one garlic bulb and one small onion. Mix in 1 teaspoon of cayenne powder and 1 quart of water. Let it seep an hour, then strain through a cheesecloth. I would say strain it through a coffee filter, and that's another use for coffee filters. And those of you that follow my other channel, Gray Man Prepping, day before, we talked about other uses for coffee filters on your prep for today. All right, so you seep it for an hour, then strain it through a cheesecloth. Add 1 tablespoon of liquid dish soap, preferably Dawn. Mix well, spray liberally on the plants late in the evening. And down in the instructions down here, it says spray on make sure you get the underside of the leaves where a lot of the pests try to lay their eggs. Okay. Okay, what just happened here? Oh, Q, I hate that when someone uses the last of the barbecue sauce and doesn't tell me, most notably my baby son, 22-year-old. He just loves barbecue sauce. He loves using the last of the barbecue sauce. But let's see. And yeah, peppermint oil as an insect pest spray as well. Yeah, you mix peppermint oil, witch hazel, lemongrass oil. I can't remember the other one. My wife has it written down. There's another one of those you add to it, and you spray that around, and that will chase off a lot of pests. Unfortunately, it also chases off certain beneficial insects as well. And another comment from Jay. Yes, cats can be pests in the garden, especially raised planter beds. So you got to be careful about using the catnip. And no, I am not going to take him out behind the woodshed. I'm just going to buy the barbecue sauce and hide it. And when he asks where is it, he goes, "Hey, you used the last of it. Why didn't you replace it?" That is something I want to do, is learn how to make some good barbecue sauce. All right, folks, what other plants do you know of other than those I went through there are good for repelling pests, and what specific pests? All right, and I'm going to try to bring up other one here. Let me just check. Give me a second here. Okay, one of the things here that is basically, it won't protect your plants, but it'll help protect you in your garden. Getting it to open up here. And these are the 10 plants that mosquitoes dislike. Garlic, number 1. Oh, this is going to be one to make me work for it. Number 2, allium, ALLIUM. And basically, actually, let me go ahead and share that one over there. Boom, there it is. That's what that one looks like. Yeah, we got a lot of ads popping up there. Lemongrass. There's lemongrass. Oh, citronella is another. I'm going to see if citronella pops up here. Lavender. Yeah, I've heard lavender is something that repels mosquitoes. I've actually seen in the stores now lemongrass oil and lavender oil insect repellent. All right. Lantana. Hummingbirds and butterflies love this, but mosquitoes do not like it, according to studies. So lantana is a flower, and it looks pretty nice little balls of little flowers in it. Geraniums, scented geraniums. So geraniums is supposed to be another one that does it. Of course, geraniums sometimes chase me away too. Miranda bee balm is a minty scent, a perennial, keeps bees away. Available in dramatic shades of red, purple, white, and bee balm encourages visit from bees and hummingbirds. So you plant this and bee balm next to it. And rosemary, when it's flowering, is known to repel mosquitoes. Come on, there we go. Number 9 is ageranum, and that's a floss flower. Another cute looking one there. And petunias. I knew that there was something about petunias. Petunias has a built-in insect repellent system that goes beyond mosquitoes. They're heat tolerant, sweet, fragrant flowers. Secrete a sticky material from the stems and helps deter predatory insects that like to feed on them. Petunias enjoy full sun but will thrive in partial shade localities as well. So, okay. So Gear has the lantana. And I froze there while I was reading. Just checking up here what was going on in the side chat, was running through things. Okay, catching up, commenting about that. Venus flytraps are good for indoors, for taking care of your your pests indoors. Our Treasure Homestead, hey, how's it going? All right, so let me see here. Okay. Okay, well, I had some other links here I wanted to share here if I can find it here. Yes, citronella grass is listed for repelling a lot of things. Chrysanthemums will repel certain bugs. Okay, this is going to make me open it up here. All right, so okay, 11 plants to help keep bugs away. Marigolds, chrysanthemums. Now, chrysanthemums will deter ants, Japanese beetles, roaches, bed bugs, spider mites, ticks, silverfish, harlequin bugs, and lice. All right, so that's chrysanthemums. So that sounds like a good thing to plant chrysanthemums around the house to keep out the ants, the roaches, the bed bugs, the spider mites, the ticks, the silverfish, harlequin bugs, and lice. So let me mint, basil, citronella grass, lavender, chives, petunia, bay leaves. Bay leaves will help repel flies and roaches. You put bay leaves around in your kitchen. They'll help deter roaches in your kitchen. Garlic, rosemary. Okay, so that's those are 11 of them there from that one. Let's see what else here we got here. Oh, here's a hang on, let me check this one here out. It's got some more information. I was hoping some others like that Tammy would be able to come up here and Courtney and a few others to know a little bit more about this stuff here. All right, number one, first one on this next website page, marigolds. Marigolds help repel aphids, mosquitoes, small animals like rabbits. And because they're small, on the smaller side, you can mix marigolds throughout your garden. Okay, petunias. Oh, petunias help repel aphids, asparagus beetles, leafhoppers, squash bugs, and tomato hornworms. And if you plant petunias alongside your basil and intersperse it throughout where all your tomatoes are, it increases the effectiveness of natural pest prevention. Geraniums. What is it? I don't get particular. Lemongrass. Lemongrass does a lot. It prefers full sun locations, and yeah, plant lemongrass outdoors the same time you plant your tomatoes. All right. Rosemary, mosquitoes, and other insects. Okay, did it. Yep. Nasturtiums, aphids, cabbage loopers, squash bugs, white flies, and a variety of beetles. So nasturtiums, that's what nasturtium takes care of. Chrysanthemums has a whole long list. I already went over a bunch of those before there. Pitcher plants. Pitcher plants, as opposed to repelling plants, pitcher plants are actually carnivorous plants that trap and eat insects, such as the Venus flytrap. These plants are great to have in your garden if you're within growing. And I froze. Zones 6 through 8. So if you're in zone 6 through 8, pitcher plants are something you can plant out there amongst your garden, and they attract the insects away from your other plants to themselves, and they trap and eat them. These plants prefer moist, well-drained soil. Do not drown your plant while remembering they don't like to dry out much. So you need to keep them damp, moist, but not enough. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, alliums, alliums, are great for repelling aphids, cabbage worms, carrot flies, and slugs. So, yeah, so that type of plants, basically they repel a bunch of different things, and you plant them with the other ones, and they work to catch the other ones. So, since they repel slugs, plant them near the nasturtiums. They'll protect the nasturtiums, and both of them will get rid of a lot of the bugs. Garlic, chives. Okay, that's all that one has. So, all right, I got some. King Poopa. How's it going, Dustin? There's some other information I got here coming up here in a little bit, and off the main topic. It's be a second topic for tonight, and it's something I found about today, and I've done some posts on it, and both on YouTube on the community tab and in Facebook. Oh, Masterclass usually has good stuff. Yeah, they're listing 15 plants that repel pests. Let's see what it shows here. Basil, bay leaf, chives, chrysanthemums, dill, garlic, geraniums, lemongrass, lemon thyme. So you got lemongrass and lemon thyme, marigolds, mint, nasturtiums, parsley, petunias, and thyme. So there's another list from Masterclass Gardeners. All right. So let me go ahead and pop that down. So I think we covered quite a bit about plants that. Hey, Aiden here, how's it going? Covered a lot of. Hey, Tonya. a lot of plants that you can plant out in your garden that you can harvest, that you can eat, and it'll help repel pests from a lot of other plants. When it comes to basil, you can actually make a tea from the basil flowers, but you got to be careful because, like a lot of good things, overindulgence has bad side effects. All right, now I got that covered, that covered. All right, so I'm going to shift gears here now, folks, and we're going to go into a news topic that's stuff's coming out today. And it's actually in the last several days, but a lot of stuff's coming out today on it, more information on it. And I know that Laura at Hedgehog Farm posted a video link off of Facebook to a what's going on in South Carolina. So I'm going to try to touch on that. This is going on in Utah, California, Michigan, and a couple other possible states where it may start going into more. All right. So this has to do with Smithfield Farms. Now, I don't know if anybody's been hearing about Smithfield Farms, but Smithfield Farms is a big hog produce, not just hog, but hog producing, pork producing company across the United States. Several of the articles I was reading on said they are the one in California is the nation's largest single hog processing plant. So, however, I'm not sure when it happened, but years ago, they got bought out by a company in Hong Kong. Hang on. So, okay, I just saw a question. So, hang on. Time out here. Let's just, and I froze. All right. So, has anybody any ideas for solar ovens? Anthony at Palmetto Prepared built a solar oven. He has a couple videos on it. So, actually built a solar dehydrator. Sorry, built a solar dehydrator. Now, I do have a Sun oven, the brand Sun oven, and I've used it, and it works really well. But if you're cooking in a long time, though, you got to go out there and adjust it every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, so it follows the sun, so you get a good cook on it. And Kaylin put the name of Anthony's channel there. Palmetto Prepared. Yeah, Kaylin, I'm not sure what we'll get into whether or not the one in Iowa is in any danger or not. All right, so what's going on is let's start with the biggest headache first, the big elephant in the room, California. Oh, they got the pigs too crowded in these big pens out there. They got too many of them in there. We can't allow them to sell any pork products in California if they don't have plenty of room in each of the pens, and no matter where they're grown in the United States. That was a law that California passed. And then they started to tack on other restrictions and stuff on it. And the cost of doing business in California for Smithfield Foods and other processors is getting out of hand. And so they announced that next year they are closing the plant down. So they're going to start working on it after the summer, closing it down, getting ready to close it down and leave California. Kaylin, that means that pork grown in any other state is not legal to sell in California. If California can track it. But, okay, that was my note to go to. I had a timer set for me to go into this, so I went into a couple minutes early. All right, so so Smithfield is closing down. the one, hang on here, let me find it here. I want to find Vernon, in the Vernon, California plant. Boom, it's being closed. Along with this was about in Beaver County, Utah. Dustin, no comments about beavers. You too, Q. That's something that's over on Courtney's channel. Anyways, but Beaver County has unanimously passed an economic emergency, the decree, because they're closing the plant there in Beaver County, and it's the largest single employer in Beaver County. So there's so now that affects Utah and around. Yeah, I Dustin, I said no, don't stop going into that vanilla stuff about beavers. Anyways, hey Lori, how's it going? I'm sorry, I just read Suburban's comment here. Oh, yeah. I mean, some of the laws that the wingnuts in California pass are stupid. All righty. So here we go. Here's this was I don't want to get in trouble because this one will get me dinged if I put this one up here. Let's just say that it's from the Counterfeit News Network. You figure that out. And it came out today. One of the largest pork processing plants in the U.S. is closing until further notice. This is not in California. This one they're talking about. One of the largest pork, and I froze, is closing until further notice as its employees fall ill with the red dragon, anyway. So if you've been around long, you know what I'm talking about, the red dragon, so I don't get in trouble with the thing. So they're closing this plant down because everyone's getting sick there. And the closure puts the country's meat supply at risk, said CEO Smithfield, which operates this plant. This plant is I'm trying to get down to where this one is at. Oh, the closure of this facility, combined with the growing list of other protein plants that have shuttered across our industry, is putting our country in perilous close to the edge in terms of our meat supply, said Chief Executive Kenneth Sullivan in a statement on Sunday. All right, he's with Smithfield. He also continued, it is impossible to keep our grocery stores stocked if our plants are not running. These facility closures, multiple of their closures, will also have severe, perhaps disastrous repercussions for many in the supply chain. And the picture they have here, and they talk about here, is the Sioux Falls, South Dakota plant. And it says the Sioux Falls, South Dakota facility accounts for 4 to 5% of the country's pork production and employs about 3,700 people. So that plant is shuttering because people are getting runny noses and they think they have the red dragon, of which the fatality rate has dropped to less than 1%, which puts it at less than a third of what the normal seasonal bug does. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem said Sunday about about 240 employees are sick, out of roughly 430 active cases in the state. Well, they have a big problem of the red dragon at that plant. Maybe they don't have everybody wash their hands every time they go to the bathroom. What's going on? So I'm just catching up here. Catching what's up on the chat here. Yeah, a lot of people. All right, I made a post on Rebel Canner's Facebook page, and before the start, it was a couple hours ago, and before I started, it had over 150 comments on it. Yeah, in just a couple hours, and a lot of them said that when Smithfield was bought, shortly thereafter they saw a dramatic decrease in quality of the products. And just catching up here. Oh, I probably missed it. Hey, Tennessee, Bushcrafter, how's it going? Yeah, and that's it. So what I'm telling you guys, part of why I'm going is to tell everybody, raise your own chickens, rabbits, goats, pigs, sheep, cows, whatever you want to eat, grow it yourself. Also, if you were thinking about canning pork, this week's the week to get it before prices start jumping. I believe that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. My wife and I weren't planning on getting animals until she's moved up here. However, we've been talking, and we may be getting some sheep to put out in the one field out there as soon as I get the fences all mended up and everything, so the sheep can't get out, and just get a half dozen sheep or so and just let them graze on that 2.5 acres over there. Oh, Lori, yeah, sounds like some wingnuts going overboard and saying, "You can't have this. You need to rely on us for your food. We don't want you self-sufficient." All right, Alicia, have a good night. All right. All right. So one of the things here, I want to go back to Smithfield on specifically. I'm at the bottom of the article here or not. Okay. Yeah. That South Dakota plant will maintain some activity in the plant to process its inventory, and basically they've stopped bringing stuff in. They're just going to process and get everything out and done and get it cleaned up, and then they're going to shut it down. And it prepares to fully shut down, adding it will compensate employees for the next 2 weeks. So at least they're covering employees there. But there's been talk about several other states doing the same thing. Now, before I jump to the what Smithfield brands are, the video that I started talking about earlier that Laura Hedgehog's Homestead had posted on Facebook. I can't remember the name, the ones that did it. Basically, they're in this YouTube channel is in South Carolina, and he talks about factory farming. Big corporations that raise the food and stuff and run it through their plants and stuff like that. And he says he's against factory farming and everything else. However, what South Carolina is doing to hinder factory farming, the laws they are passing are also going to can be used to screw with homesteaders and family-owned farms as well. So be careful what your legislators do. This. but some of the legislation that they're passing is targeting these pork producers and meat producers and, you know, companies like Smithfield. So they, when they start getting hammered by states like California, they're pulling out. So when states start putting regulations on them to make them toe the line, they pull out. And they blame it on everything else. I mean, you know, there were several things being blamed on it. Now, one of the channels I was watching earlier today, Economic Ninja, was talking about this as well. And there's something he said to realize. This is part of a leverage. This could very well be part of a leverage action by a certain country that wants to get into Taiwan. And because Smithfield is owned by a holding company in Hong Kong, which is now part of this country now, this other country. So you can see where political things can be being pulled if you look between the lines to see what's going on. This is stuff going on behind the scenes that's going to be affecting it. All right, so let me bring up this other thing here. All right, so I don't want to get dinged, so I'm just going to read these off, and we'll talk about it. So Smithfield brands are Smithfield, Eckrich, that's ECKRICH, Nathan's famous hot dogs, Farmer John, Farmland, Armour, you know, Armour hot dogs, yeah. Carando, Cook's Hams, John Morrell, Healthy Ones, Galtney, Curly's, Smithfield Colliery. This is the Italian name on it. Margeni, Margherita. And then a German name here, Krelschmar. Now, of these names, I've grew up with about 5 or 6 of these names of where we used to get stuff from. And so we got 4, 8, 12. We got 15 companies under the Smithfield umbrella that are going to be affected by these plants shutting down. Hey, Granny Goose. Okay. Yeah. No wonder why they made a certain movie over there in the Land of the Red Dragon. All right, just catching up here on the side chat. Yeah, I know in California they're saying you can't disconnect from the grids. Some people are going and are totally disconnecting anyways. You know, say, hey, don't need it. We ain't buying from you guys. You know, you guys are shutting, browning us out anyway. So there are some people that's just turning off their breakers and not even not quote not connected up. And when they send them a bill, no, sorry, I ain't used any electricity last month. Yeah. So Kayla knows about 6 of those. So I'm going to run over these brands again really quickly. Smithfield, Eckrich, Nathan's, Farmer John. I grew up with Farmer John. Farmer John, Farmland, Armour, Carano, Carando, Carando. Cook's Hams. I remember Cook's Hams. Curly's, and it's just Curly's has like fire behind it, so it's like barbecue stuff. Galtney, GWALTNEY. Healthy Ones. It has the blue thing with the green circle around it and the white letters. Healthy Ones. You've probably seen that in the frozen food section, stuff like that. John Morrell, and the German one, Krellsheimer, and then the Italian one, Margreta, and then Smithfield Culinary, which is, looks like it's a fancy version of stuff. But yeah, so those are some of their brands that Smithfield Processing provides for. So you can be guaranteed that a lot of these brands are suddenly going to be having shortages in the marketplace, especially by the middle of next year, when the California plant, shutters for permanently shutters. All right. Yeah. So anyway, so tonight I just want to talk about ways of protecting your garden, but this other stuff came up and I wanted to get it out there because there's been a lot of questions coming my way since I posted the things about it, the information I found out this morning. So, good night, Nancy. So, yeah, so that's, I'm going to wrap it up here. So food for thought, basically, plant more garden. Start thinking about adding more livestock to your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your under your umbrella there. If you can do it, I know some people can't. They're either in town or they're in an apartment or whatever. Do what you can, save what you can, shop smartly. Now, coming up here, let's see, coming up tomorrow night on Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. The topic is summer blackouts predicted. And so I've gotten some notices that aren't reaching the general public because they're trying to hide them about impending blackouts. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow night and some of the things you can do about it. Thursday night on Gray Man Prepping, starting at midnight Eastern time, or if you want to call it 11:59 Thursday night. Because it's going to be Gray Man Prepping, talking about all stuff in the news, anything else you want to talk about. Just a kind of sort of an open forum. Talk about stuff where you don't have to worry about people getting on your case. Next Monday here, I am crossing my fingers. Everybody cross your fingers. I hope to get Tammy from Rebel Canners up here. The topic next Monday is canning lids and some of the problems creeping in here, and some of the quote non-name brand alternatives, which are actually they're name brands. It's just not well known, and they've been around for a while, and they're producing a superior quality to a certain name brand lid, which have been having problems. So we'll be talking about that next Monday here on the Fireside chat. All righty. So remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your prepper pantry all the food, waters, spices, everything else you need, and add to your skills. The more you know how to do, the better you are. The better you're off. All right. So take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping.